Hello, everyone. We are now in the 12th week of the semester, and that means Salman Rushdie. This is when we really start getting into the diversity portion of the semester. So we've been reading a whole lot of dead white men and dead white women for the last 11 weeks. Now we get into the diversity, and it starts with Salman Rushdie, who is still alive, by the way. In fact, we've got 4 authors remaining this semester, and 3 of them are still alive. Now, granted, Salman Rushdie is a 71-year-old man, but he was actually born in India. And the reason he's included in the British Lit course is because he was born in India at a time when India was a British property. So, British imperialism, with all of its ups and downs and everything, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, did make room for a more diverse bunch of writers. And the first reading from the Salman Rushdie one is titled The British Indian Writer and a Dream England. And what he talks about there is how with the imperialism, British culture invaded other cultures. And they mixed and they blended in together in a way that actually preserved some of the regular stuff in the culture, and then added some British flavor to it, if you will. And I know that makes it sound better than what it truly is, but it's an inevitability that when a conquering power comes in, that the conquering power and the power that's being conquered both will blend together, and what you end up getting is some kind of a hybrid. And Rushdie talks about that a little bit in this first reading. He also talks about how when he grew up watching television, Britain looked like this magical, wonderful place, and yet when he visited there for the first time, it was a bit of a disappointment. And if you've ever visited somewhere you absolutely wanted to visit and then got disappointed while you were there, you understand what that's all about. You've seen that before, and that's what Rushdie's talking about here. All right, then we're going to see how the blending of British and English language with Indian culture comes together in a very entertaining fictional story called The Prophet's Hair. And the prophet we're talking about here is the Prophet Muhammad. So I think you're going to enjoy it. There's some mysticism, and yet there's some English to it, and there's some. It's hard to explain until you actually read it. But I do think that you're going to like this. It's going to be a major change in British literature, and we're going to see more voices other than voices out of England or Ireland coming up in the next 4 weeks. So this is Salman Rushdie, the first of our 3 authors that are still alive, and a guy that truly embodies what it's like when British culture blends in with Indian culture, and they come together to form something that we've never seen before. And I think you're going to find that when you read this week's readings.